first group to be judged on this, the third day of Crufts 2020. The working group.
So here's our judge walking down the line, taking a look at all his best of breed winners. The Dogue de Bordeaux Best of Breed Award was not confirmed following the dog's veterinary check, and therefore that particular breed will not be represented in the group tonight.
Let's take an opportunity to explain a little about the group of dogs that we see before us.
The 24 working breeds come from all across the globe, from North America throughout Europe and on to Asia. And although there's a huge diversity of size and build, they all have
taking in the outlines and balance of the breeds. Because there's a huge diversity of breeds which were developed for a purpose to help man survive, help him in his life through hunting, guarding.
Best of breed winners in the world.
Now here's the first of our best of breed winners, a truly ancient breed developed from the dogs that accompanied prehistoric migrants across the north. His name derives from the Malamute tribes around the northern sound of Alaska, a true heavyweight capable of grueling work, hauling freight in savage weather, typical Spitz in type.
The Alaskan Malamute was named after the Malamute Union Eskimos living on the Arctic coast of western Alaska.
And this is the biggest of the sled dogs, and they're bred for stamina to go long distances with heavy loads. And they're absolutely fit to function. Everything about them. Weatherproof coat, this thick tail, and the furred ears to give them protection against the icy climate.
And that coat is thick and coarse on top, but the dense, heavy undercoat is slightly softer, giving them the most fantastic protection from the weather.
A wonderful tail. The tail should be like a waving plume, and that's ideal.
Next we see the Bernese Mountain Dog. Our judge today is Steve.
Now here we have the Bernese Mountain Dog, one of the 4 Swiss farm breeds, characterized by this black, white and tan color. They were developed to haul carts from the cheese factories to the market and to the train stations. Their origins lie in a cross between Mastiffs and flock guards in the Swiss Alps.
Come from the town of Dobermann in Bern, where it was first seen in showing in 1904.
Strong-bodied with strong bones, slightly longer than tall in his outline. This dog has the most wonderful temperament, doesn't it, Frank?
And it's wonderful if you go to Switzerland or Austria, where we see displays of these dogs on festival days, the handlers in national dress and the dogs hauling ornamented carts through the streets. It's a wonderful sight. Wonderful temperaments, beautiful bone and feet, that sturdy body.
Neat little white feet, they're lovely. Well, they're not little, actually.
And the next of our working breeds to be seen is the Bouvier Des Flandres, representative of 38.
This is the Bouvier Des Flandres, an upstanding, fearless working farm dog developed as late as the end of the 19th century. Bouvier means cattle herder, and many of the regional Bouvier breeds in Belgium and northern France were wiped out when their home turf became a battlefield. Selective breeding has brought them back from the brink of extinction. Thank goodness, because they're beautiful dogs.
Nowadays, these are dogs and resource, as well as being
And they're that matte coat, a protective, thick matte coat. When you put your hand in, it's tough to the touch, and you can hardly get through to the skin. Compact, free-striding, highly intelligent. They've worked for the armed forces as well, so they're like a job of work to do. But wonderful, wonderful characters, as we see.
And that slightly unkempt look, I love that description.
Rustic, yes, very rustic. Now the impressive outline of the boxer. This is a German breed, and the origins lie in the old German breed, the Bullmastiff, a hunting dog used on wild boar, deer and bear, and late in the 19th century was crossed with the English Bulldog, and that's the ancestry of the modern breed.
And whilst they are strong, powerful dogs, boxers, you can see that, they also manage to be elegant, don't they?
It comes from their leg length. They've got this wonderful height on the front leg, clean outlines, and it gives it, as you say, a touch of elegance with substance.
Ever smiling faces, they are the most wonderful characters to live with.
and again, highly intelligent. They appreciate a job to do, and they've been used by the armed forces and the police as well.
Just look at that, the ultimate poacher patrol. The Bullmastiff was developed by gamekeepers keen to thwart legions of hungry peasants. His ancestors are the Bulldog and the Old English Mastiff, a combination which produced the necessary courageous temperament, forbidding size, but also agility for the chase. These dogs can shift.
This is a very impressive dog. This lovely short, compact body, a good length of leg. Come all the way from Belgium to win today.
That head should be large with a square skull, a relatively shorter muzzle, blunt and cut-off square, dark eyes, and wide set with those little V-shaped ears.
You're quite right about them being athletic as well as being substantial, Jessica. It said that they should be able to jump a 5-barred gate in pursuit of the poachers. A nasty shock for them, I'm sure.
Well, I wouldn't want to meet that on a dark night, would you?
Solid bone and lovely free stride there. Now, one of the rarer breeds in this group is the Canadian Eskimo Dog, and this shows us a survival story, the ancient sled dog of the Canadian Arctic. But the breed was put into jeopardy with the introduction of the Siberian Huskies, which were much faster. However, they survived with a breeding program by the Canadian government.
That impressive coat is harsh, stiff outer coat with a thick, dense undercoat. All colours and markings allowed apart from merle.
Now, by the 1970s, the population had shrunk to about 200, and this research station was set up to breed them, to keep them pure and help the breed's survival. Spitz-like characteristics in its wedge-shaped head, these pricked ears which are furred inside to protect them, and again, at night, they'll curl themselves up into a ball and wrap the tail around themselves to keep warm. Amazing, fit for function.
Full of courage, this, the Dobermann. It's a tough, intelligent, capable, swift and agile dog. It was eventually recognised by the German Kennel Club in 1899. And certainly if you were collecting taxes back in the mid-19th century, you'd like yourself to be protected by one of these.
Sometimes called Dobermann, the breed's exact ancestry is unknown. It's believed to be a mixture of many dog breeds, including the Rottweiler.
And this is a real eyeful of a dog. Looks absolutely beautiful tonight. This square outline, slightly sloping from the withers, a wedge-shaped head. This has filled my eyes so far. I hope she's going to go well for us.
Very balanced. It was Louis Dobermann who crossed, they think, the German Shepherd, German Pinschers, and created himself a breed that took his name, very much the guard dog. In the right hands, they can be fantastic companions.
This has filled my eye here, and I hope it's going to do very well. Beautiful, beautiful. And here is a slightly smaller version of a Pinscher, the German Pinscher, thought to be, the German word Pinscher means ripper, and that's what it used to do. It used to rip vermin apart. It was a vermin dog. Utilitarian, squarely built. This one, a red fawn. The middle size of Pinscher. It's surprising to me that they're not more popular.
This is Affy. They've come from France to compete here at Crufts. Always solid colours, shades from stag red to Isabella, which is a much paler fawn. Medium-sized, smooth-coated. There's an elegance about these too.
They make good guard dogs, and as I say, they used to be vermin dogs, but I'm surprised that they're such good domestic pets. There's no grooming to them. They're lovely characters, and as we see, very friendly.
such an impressive outline. The largest of the three Schnauzer varieties, the Giant, was developed from the medium-sized standard Schnauzer by adding Great Dane, Rottweiler and various German sheepdogs to produce a powerful drover. Almost square in outline, the Giant Schnauzer is robust and imposing, a really versatile work dog. This is a black, but they come also in pepper and salt, don't they? Rarer colour in this size.
The grey banded coats, yes. But anyway, these are hugely versatile as well. They were tracking dogs that were used in the World Wars as ambulance dogs as well. Highly trainable and great tracking dogs as well.
Nice, vigorous, free movement, plenty of what we call reach and drive, those front legs extending well forwards, powering from the back.
And under that coat there's a lot of substance. You want good, strong bone and substance in the body. There's a wonderful outline of the Great Dane. The title's misleading. It's not a Danish dog, it's a German dog, and it was bred from the 17th century as a hunter of wild boar. And it may have Mastiff in its ancestry. It's known as the Apollo of dogs, statuesque and handsome. Lovely handsome head there. And this one is a Boston marked dog. That means a black body with white markings on the neck, the head and the legs.
And as his name suggests, this dog should have truly massive bone, impressive in size, and yet in no way exaggerated, heavy or cumbersome. Lithe, springy gait on the move. This one's very sound.
And it's said that the Great Dane should have dash and dare, be ready to go anywhere. So this is the first time I think there's a Boston marked one like this has ever won Best of Breed at Crufts. A colour recognised relatively recently into the English standard. More popular in America, but a very impressive dog here.
Now another one that's come from France to compete. This is the Great Swiss Mountain Dog, the largest of the Swiss herding breeds, sharing the same ancestry as the Bernese Mountain Dog we saw earlier. They also have the same tricolour markings, but a short, dense, weatherproof coat instead. A multi-purpose herding dog, but also used for draft and carting duties too.
Canine folklore says that the white markings, they represent the Swiss cross on the chest of the dog. That may be a bit romantic, but the tricolour markings are the feature of the breeds in Switzerland.
And of course, because this dog is frequently working in what we would generously call inclement weather, that double coat, it might be close lying, but it's very dense, isn't it, and weatherproof.
Just come to stand, and the judge taking in the outline again.
The Greater Swiss Mountain Dog.
And now welcome to the ring, Best of Breed Greenland Dog, judged today by Best of Breed.
And here is another of the sled dogs, and it's the Greenland Dog, the only native breed of Greenland still in existence. It was formed by crossing Spitz-type dogs with the Siberian Husky. The importation of dogs into Greenland has made them pure and kept them free from crossbreeding. Again, Spitz-like in its formation.
And it's passed into legend that Amundsen's use of Greenland dogs rather than the Malamutes or Huskies is widely credited with giving him the edge over Scott in the race for the South Pole back in the 1910 to 1912 expedition. So the Greenland dog much valued in respect of his tenacity and endurance. This is the Hovawart, an old breed from the Black Forest region of Germany, where he was valued as a steady and reliable guard of the home, the family and the livestock. He'd almost disappeared completely after the First World War, but a zoologist named Kurt Koenig decided to recreate the breed from dogs closely representing drawings from the Middle Ages. This one, a beautiful black and tan.
They also come in other colours. We'll see the beautiful golden ones sometimes and solid black. This one, very nice outline and striding out. They often used to guard the castles in Germany and also the farm stock. Beautiful, calm temperament. This one is a very impressive dog.
The Hovawart, loyal and versatile companion.
And a beautiful picture of the Leonberger there, coming for the judge's attention. This is a breed developed by the mayor of Leonberg, a town in southwest Germany, around 1840. The mayor, Henrik Essig, wanted to develop a breed for guarding and to have a leonine appearance, to look like a lion, hence the colour, and hence the name Leonberger.
Nice strong head there. You want slightly elongated rather than heavy. Lovely dark eyes.
And again, substance with fluidity of movement. That's important. It's thought that the St. Bernard was crossed with the Newfoundland, and there are features in of both breeds in the appearance of the dog. Again, lovely light on its feet for a strong dog. Shading mask over its face. And this lion-like colour, this golden colour.
This is one of the oldest of our dog breeds, with a history that frankly is peppered with gore. Mastiffs so impressed the invading Romans that they took them home to the gladiatorial arenas to be pitted against bears and lions. In medieval times, they were taken into battle, and by the 18th century, they were favoured estate guards dealing with poachers in short order. You can see why, can't you?
And they used to be known as the Old English Mastiff. And here, the brindle, which was the camouflage colour, it was the popular one because it was hidden in the woods at night.
Yes, we more commonly see fawn, don't we? Whereas the brindle is really impressive. Broad in the skull.
And of course, longer than the Bullmastiff, a bigger, more stature, more substance, and longer in the body. And slightly different in the head, a longer muzzle on the Mastiff. Christopher Harbig will be taking close note of these Mastiff breeds. They're his favourites. And here is a breed which takes some of its ancestry from the Mastiff, the Neapolitan Mastiff. Something of a grotesque beauty, I've heard it called. The Neapolitan Mastiff is rumoured to have led the Roman legions into battle, wearing thick spiked collars and used as a weapon in fighting. They also fought in the Colosseum, wild beasts and humans.
Very balanced outline. We want a broad, deep-chested dog here. A certain amount of loose skin around the head and shoulders is allowed because basically that's where, when the dog was attacked, you could sink your teeth in and not do any terminal damage.
Now, the breeders have done a lot of good work in improving the soundness and health of the breed. Exaggeration of any kind leads to health problems with dogs, and they used to have too much loose skin under their throat, on their feet and on the body, and this caused skin problems. The breeders are getting rid of exaggeration, and this one is a very impressive dog. Beautiful coat condition, strong head, very good legs and feet, and one of the challenges is to get a big dog with substance to move soundly, and this dog achieves the combination here.
Courageous and kind, this dog, a real water lover. The Newfoundland was developed from a cocktail of Native American Indian dogs and many breeds imported to Newfoundland by sailors and traders. When the type of Newfoundland was eventually stabilised, what we ended up with was a gentle giant used for draft and especially water work, fetching nets and rescuing man overboard.
And this again is another very impressive dog. Beautiful bone and substance, and that coat has a waterproof, oily quality to it.
3 years old, this one, come from France to compete. Of course, all of these more giant breeds, they take a while to mature properly and come into their best. Powerful on the move.
And for fitness, for function and working in the water, it's got big barrel ribs.
And look at those big
for
web
lung capacity,
feet too.
yes. and there he's just flicking a little bit of a slobber there. One of the great joys of owning a
yeah, look at the handler has a cloth ready.
Yes. Now, the unique outline of the Portuguese Water Dog, a versatile water dog developed in the Algarve, helping fishermen to haul in the nets, and it could also bring in shoals of nets and bring in the boats. It was also used as a messenger between boats.
Now, we often see a longer, wavy coat on the Portuguese Water Dog, but they are allowed to have this shorter, slightly tighter curl in the coat, aren't they?
And yes, it is. And the tail, very important. They have their hindquarters clipped and a protective plume left on the end of the tail to protect it against the cold water and against knocking itself. Very smart.
Rottweilers were developed from Roman cattle drovers' dogs used to move and guard meat on the hoof. Strong and sturdy is what we're looking for here, enough to endure a face-off with a bull. Rottweilers were also used for bear hunting in German forests around the town of Rottweil, from whence they take their name. Described as a true stalwart, compact, powerful, and giving the impression of great strength.
The Rottweiler also has to be athletic. People get this image that they have to be hugely massive dogs. That's not true. They're drovers' dogs. They have to go for long distances, so they need to be athletic. They're not overburdened with substance.
The standard actually requires supple, positive movement, an easy stride on the move. That double coat, coarse and flat on the top, softer underneath, so weatherproof wherever they happen to be working.
And of course, hugely trainable. They've filled in with a lot of roles with the armed forces, the police work. Very versatile working dogs.
And those classic black and tan markings.
And well brought up. They've got wonderful temperaments to live with the family. Now here is the Russian Black Terrier, which first appeared at a show in Moscow in 1955. So it's a relatively modern breed. Purposefully bred after World War II by a Russian army breeding station. They wanted a guard dog able to survive the extreme climate and terrain and to round up fugitives. It's thought to have the giant Schnauzer and the Rottweiler in its makeup, and also the Airedale Terrier.
Easy to see that, isn't it? And up to 77 centimetres tall and 70 kilos, this is nobody you want to be messing with. You can easily understand how this would make a superb guard dog in the right hands. Elastic ground covering gait is what we're looking for here. Real drive from behind.
And they've got massive bone. You can hardly get your hand round the foreleg of a Russian Black Terrier.
And that high set tail with a slight curl to it, very characteristic of the breed. The St. Bernard earned his name from Bernard of Menthon, a monk who developed this powerful breed to find and rescue travellers who'd managed to get themselves lost in the alpine passes 8,000 feet up, where snowdrifts can basically pile up to 40 feet high. One thing is true, though, the barrels of brandy around their necks was just wishful thinking, I'm afraid. They never really existed.
Now this is a breed where the breeders have done great work to improve the soundness of the breed. The standard used to say as tall as possible, and that led to an exaggeration. Now we've got a more moderate size, wonderful bone, well constructed and fluid movement. Look at the movement on this dog.
That is such an impressive dog. This is a true giant, and yet he's moving so freely and easily, responding beautifully to the handling.
Coming from the very successful Chandler Kennel, they've had group wins here and at many other championship shows.
Carrying just the right amount of weight to be massive without being excessive. Beautiful dog.
We have had at least one St. Bernard going best in show at Crufts in the past. And the last of our sledding breeds now, the Siberian Husky, the lightest and fastest of the sled dogs. And he comes from northeast Siberia and developed by the Chukchi Eskimos. At one stage he was called the Chukchi Sled Dog. Kept pure and undiluted because of the extreme and remote location in which he was bred. This one, an all-white one, they come in a variety of colours, a degree of elegance in their make and shape.
Truly foxy in feel, the Siberian Husky. Quick, light on his feet, well furred in a completely weatherproof coat, and of course very popular in part because they can have the most extraordinary coloured eyes, can't they?
The blue eyes, yes.
And often eyes of different colours, one of each.
And this is the breed which makes the champions in the sled racing competitions.
Smooth and effortless on the move. This is an impressive dog, thought to be the oldest of all the Mastiff breeds and the rootstock behind the Roman Molosses that eventually gave rise to all the European Mastiffs. This is the Tibetan Mastiff, a big, powerful, slow-maturing breed who should nonetheless retain balance and soundness throughout. The coat's heavier in the males, isn't it, Frank,
yes,
with a great mane around the neck?
Yes, the mane over the neck and shoulders, matching the tail, the plumed tail. This is a big winning dog from Russia, come all the way, and I think he's won all over Europe, so great reputation. Good to see him here. This
Lovely sound, swinging stride there, really light on his feet for such a big dog.
And the breed has improved in soundness. They're moving much better than the early specimens we saw in the country. A very impressive dog.
That plume tail held as a lovely loose curl over the back. Gorgeous head, this dog.
And here is winning from the import register classes for breeds which are not yet popular in the country and are just getting developed. It's the Entlebucher Mountain Dog, the smallest of the 4 breeds of Swiss Mountain Dog, and the same tricolour pattern as we've seen in the Bernese and the Greater Swiss. It was used as a herding dog, bringing cattle down from the mountain pastures, and would also guard the herds. And it can be born lovely expression there on its eyes, eager to please the owner. This one, a long-tailed, full-tailed dog. They can be born with a natural bobtail. Just going out on the move now. The shortest on the leg of the Swiss breeds. Again, a dense, weatherproof coat.
Slightly longer than he is tall, nice straight front, strong rear, and that double dense coat close to the body, but very weatherproof. Always this tricolour.
This is a very handsome dog, actually. It's put on a good show here.
So there's our working best of breeds. Who is Christopher Harbig going to choose for the group winner? There's quite a few very sound, impressive working dogs in there, aren't there?
Well, yes, it's a group that's got lots of quality in it. I love the Doberman. I think the Doberman looks marvellous tonight, and I like the Tibetan Mastiff, very impressive.
Lovely Newfoundland.
But soon we'll see Christopher's opinion, and who's he calling in?
The Bernese Mountain Dog is coming in.
And the Bullmastiff. And the Doberman, very good. The Doberman
you'll be
comes
delighted
in, yes.
with that.
And the Mastiff, the Old English Mastiff.
Impressive brindle Mastiff.
And the Rottweiler, another German breed for the German judge. And the St. Bernard. And the Tibetan Mastiff.
I love that St. Bernard.
And the Entlebucher Mountain Dog.
Now
yes.
that is an achievement for the imported register Entlebucher Mountain Dog to be pulled into the final cut.
So, now walking down the line, study of concentration now to just checking on the outlines and balance of the dogs. I think we might see them moved out and back again for us.
What a lovely final lineup.
And
look at the balance there.
And the outline on the Tibetan Mastiff. Wow.
So back to the front of the line, we have this gorgeous Bernese Mountain Dog. This is 2-year-old Hugo with Carol Hartley mare.
Judge just checking on the movements. He's looking for strong, powerful hocks driving the dog along.
He's already decided that this is a beautiful example of its breed being pulled into this final lineup. Now it's about performance too, isn't it,
Performance and
Frank?
a bit of extra ring presence to catch the judge's eye. He's got a very good shortlist. This is a very lovely Bull Mastiff as well.
This is Drago, 3 years old, from Belgium.
A big winner on the continent.
I love it. Owner describes him as an iron fist in a velvet glove of a dog. Now here's your favourite.
This beautiful Dobermanvich, Mansart Vogue. That top line slightly sloping and rock hard with his high tail set.
Known as Rumour at home, she's 2 years old, a total mummy's girl apparently.
Very clever breed. That's a beautiful specimen of a Doberman. And here's this beautiful specimen of the Mastiff, the Feinad frankincense. They've had good careers at Crufts over the past few years from this kennel.
He's your namesake too, 5-year-old Frank.
Yeah.
The brindle Mastiff. And now onto the Rottweiler. This is 4-year-old Otto. Handled by Bev Hucker, owned by Claire and Edward Franklin.
Medium-sized dog, rectangular body shape, good depth for lung and heart room. Sturdily boned but athletic. Wonderful temperament. And here is the very impressive Tibetan Mastiff, all the way from Russia. The father of the Mastiff breeds, the Tibetan Mastiff. Beautiful.
Now the St. Bernard.
Right on his feet for a giant breed.
2-year-old Willis. Handled by Tan Negrecha in the ring.
And representing the smaller breeds in the working group, the little Entlebucher Mountain Dog. I said it was a handsome dog.
You did. This is Buddy from Abergavenny in South Wales. Flying the flag for the imported register.
And his show name is Alfie Bangwood. That's a bit colloquial for a show dog's name, yes.
So a final look at our shortlist in the working group. The boards are out. Who's going to take the group?
Well, just look at the outlines of these dogs. What a picture they make. Fabulous Dobermann. The wonderful, wonderful outline of the Tibetan Mastiff. Spoilt for choice here is Mr. Harbig.
Oh, Frank.
The Bullmastiff.
What a wonderful win for the breed. All the way from Belgium, this is Drago, the Bullmastiff, taking the working group.
The working group goes to
The Rottweiler in second place.
11649.
And working group 3 is
Group 3 goes to that gorgeous Tibetan Mastiff.
Lovely, lovely little curtsy from the Russian handler.
And working group 4.
The Dobermann getting recognition. What a marvellous win for that. Only keeps a handful of dogs, but has had lovely Dobermans for years. That's a marvellous win for her.
And that is the most beautiful final four. Gorgeous dogs, but the winner, the Bullmastiff. Drago takes the group.
now it gives me great pleasure to ask Mr. Tony Chaplin to arrange a presentation for our winners. Tony is the former chairman of the Bouvier Des Flandres Kennel Club.
And that must be an extra special win for them from a very much a Mastiff specialist.
Yes, and a wonderful strong head there, strong skull, and look at that wonderful wise expression. Marvellous.
Very, very well done.
Thank you very much.
Good job and what a
Thank you.
wonderful dog. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a quick word with our winner. She's dressed in pink and she looks a little shocked.
I think my face is pink too, though.
Your face really does speak for itself. Tell us a little bit about your Bullmastiff here.
So my dog is a son of my female, and I'm very happy to be there today. And I'm not very famous in the world of Bullmastiff, and I make a lot of show. I travel a lot, and so I'm very happy to make this result.
And where have you come from for this Crufts?
Belgium.
Oh, well, many congratulations. Everyone at home at Belgium are going to be screaming for you, aren't they?
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the winner of the working group here at Crufts, the Bullmastiff.